That boy is Benny Hanna.
Yo, what's up, fam? We in here tonight. Yo, I'm so excited. Yo, we in here, the Iron Man podcast. We here once again. We're here to do it again, man. Yo, it's crazy. All that's been going on around the world in our city, around the world, around the globe, yo. And I'm glad that we can come in this space and just be a space where, you know, all voices can be heard, all experiences can be acknowledged. Listen, I'm excited because I got a winner in here tonight with me who we're going to be talking to. He's a dear friend, dear brother of mine. We're actually working on a project together that we'll talk to you guys about more clearly as the night goes on. But yo, what's up, Joe? I see you. What's up, Angela? I see you guys. If you're here, show some love, share. It's going to be dope. We're going to be talking about in my fields. We're going to be talking about the mental and emotional state of men of color in America. A lot is going on. But you know what? Further ado, I'm not going to prolong this. I'm just going to bring my brother on up to the mic. Yo, so everybody, I want y'all to give a good Iron Man welcome to no other than Anthony Gonzalez.
Hey, Jesus. Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, bro. I'm glad that you're here with us tonight, man. We have a good show coming on, man. What's up? So you're down there in Florida. How's Florida treating you, bro?
Florida is actually crazy. It feels like I don't know, man. It's a weird time to be in Florida. Things were getting better, and then things are opening, and now it's like, man, it's crazy just to go to the grocery store. Like Target is an adventure for me, so it's like dodging COVID left and right.
Dude, that's, you know what? When COVID first hit, my wife my wife also already has a case of OCD. But listen, it was like to the umpteenth power. When we went, she legit had a whole shirt wrapped around her face, her eyes. She had hand gloves. She had gloves on her hands.
No.
Yo, and it was crazy. Like before we came in the house, we had to strip right before we came in the house.
Like you about to go into surgery or something.
Like we had to scrub in and scrub out to get it. For 3 months, bro. 3 whole months. Nobody came in our house.
Crazy.
Nobody came out our house. Like,
but that's good though for y'all that you took it serious, because at first us Floridians, like we were like, what? Like it took me a while just to wear a mask. Like I was reckless with it, like just touching everything. Like I didn't care at first, but no, it's actually mad serious. I was a Floridian man, and now I've changed my ways.
Lord, I'm glad you converted. Listen, dude, I'm telling you, when COVID hit, it was crazy. We had hand sanitizers in the car. We had hand sanitizers when you walk in the door. We had hand sanitizers in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in every room. We had Lysol sprays
in your own house, in every room.
We had Lysol sprays in every car. So if we went grocery shopping, we had to spray all the bags down before we put it in the car. We sprayed the car.
Wow.
Serious.
Wow. But y'all healthy though.
Dude,
you guys are healthy though.
You know? We in here. And you know, I thank God for my wife. You know, we healthy. We in here. Nobody's gotten sick. What's up, Steven? I see you. Man, we were healthy, man. And so we would spray everything down, but nobody's gotten sick, so I guess we all good. Man, dude, Florida. I love Florida, but y'all, it's crazy out here, bro. It's crazy.
Florida's a little wild. And then I'm glad people are taking it more serious now, but I think it's because it's hitting everybody a little more closer to home, and so it's you know, Florida had to learn the hard way, but praise God, the lessons being learned, at least for me and my people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel you, bro. Like this is crazy time, bro. So listen, man, Anthony, you're amazing, dude. You get to travel around the world. You help a lot of people do a lot of different things, man. Who is Anthony? Tell us who you are. I know.
Man,
who are you?
You know me, man. I'm just a servant, man. A follower of Christ. I'm a father. I had to learn a lot of lessons the hard way, and so I think where that stems from is gratefulness. So I'm just grateful for everything that God has done for me, and so, man, I'm nobody. I'm nobody without the Lord. So that's all I have to say about that.
Man, I hear you on that. I hear you. That was very humble. So since you won't toot your own horn, I'll toot it for you. Yo, Anthony, he's an amazing dude. He works, I believe, for a missions organization, travels around the world, and just helps people around the world do and with what is some of the stuff that you guys do?
Yeah, it's a crew, Campus Crusades for Christ, and
Yeah.
so a lot of missionaries in campuses in America, but also around the world. And so I'm in the finance department, helping with the accounting, technology, and software. So directly impacting people who are donating to missionaries, the people on the field who are literally handing out the gospel, and so it's worldwide. It's awesome.
You're deeply planted within the evangelical church. So I'm gonna hop in here. This is a hot topic. I'm gonna just go in here. Listen, so there's a war right now between I call it super spiritual church people and people who are less I guess considered less spiritual about having to wear a mask right now. Like have you seen it? Like it's mad crazy. I wish I had the video. I saw one video clip where people are going off like, no, if you have faith in God, I know who my God is, and I'm not on that because it's a trick of the enemy to wear a mask and the devil trying to deceive you, and and it goes on. And then you have those on the other side who are saying, if you are a Christian, you should be caring about your brother and your sister, and you should be wearing the mask. So. Yeah, so somebody who's in Florida, like, yo, where are you sitting at? What is your viewpoint on this, man?
For me, I think, well, first and foremost, it's law right now. So I don't have an opinion because my county told me you step outside, you wearing a mask, and so I abide by that.
Cop out because Governor Kemp in Atlanta is suing the mayor. In the city of Atlanta for having harsher guidelines and a mandate for people to wear masks.
No, that's real because that's happening here too. That's happening here too. So I think like in everything has to be with love, and what I see is so much harshness, and I don't think on either side, no matter where you're standing, that the super strong opinions and condemning people, that's not it. Nobody's going to listen to that dialogue. And so I feel like, man, you just got to use wisdom and just, follow the convictions that the Lord has given you. If you're just listening to conspiracy theorists telling you this and that about wearing the mask and Bill Gates is doing this and people are doing that, then you're feeding off of fuel. But if you're doing your research, your due diligence, and you're praying about it, and you really got conviction to not wear a mask, then I mean, who's going to go against the Lord? But if it's because of paranoia, then that's something else.
I think there's a place in acknowledgement for fear, but I think there's also a place in acknowledgement for wisdom. And so, listen, don't come near my dwelling place if you ain't got no mask. It's not happening. It just ain't happening. I've had to, press some couple people like, oh, yo, back up. We not going.
But that's real though, and I think that there's a respect thing too. That if you as my brother are not comfortable with me not wearing a mask, like who am I to use my freedom to try to come at you? Like I'm gonna respect you as my brother, and I'll put on a mask. It's not hurting me.
Dude, you'd be surprised. Some people I think I have a problem with people over spiritualize it. When people make it a heaven or a hell or a demon or a devil, like the principality of the powers of the air. No,
they stamp God on it.
God, and it's not God. It ain't
dangerous. That's dangerous.
It's not him. It's their super spiritual, non-spiritual selves.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Even if I say something that I feel like is conviction or led by the Lord, man, I put the biggest asterisk. Like, man, this may just be my thoughts. Don't take it as a thus says the Lord, because I do not want to be confused for no type of false teacher or prophet. Like, I don't want to say nothing that has God's name on it. That's not God.
I feel you, man. So, like, that's one big issue going on, man. And another big issue is, bro, it seems like the race. This feels like it's a race war going on, bro. Like,
Wow.
it's wild, and not. And I don't think it's just black and white anymore, bro. But I know here in Chicago, it was also black and Hispanic. Like there was, wow. Dude, there was word that, you know, blacks and Hispanics were getting into it as well. So, like, what is your viewpoint as being a Hispanic man living in Florida? You know, I see you. You're everywhere, bro. So, what is your take?
For me, I had a privileged life growing up, and I'm grateful that my parents divorced when I was a baby. I was like 1 year old, and my mom remarried a few years later. So, you know, on my father's side, I was in the neighborhoods, and I was able to see how my cousins grew up in lack. But then when my mom remarried, and my stepfather, who's an amazing dad, he was able to provide. He worked for a bank. You know, I lived a privileged life. We were able to go on vacations, but I was back and forth between homes, so I got to see how the other side lived. And so, man, it's the tension is real. And I think in high school, I may have fed into that a little bit, because in New York City, where I grew up, there was some issues in where I was growing up from between races, between the Italians. I had to choose I had to choose my high school. It was either the one in the rich neighborhood, but they were super racist, burning Puerto Rican flags. It was predominantly white, or the one that's around the block from the projects, where there was like gang wars and stuff happening all around there. And there was heavy tension between Hispanics and blacks too. So, man, just love. The greatest commandment, Jesus said.
Just love, man.
Love, but yeah.
I think that's a concept, but I think, man, people are really coming at one another, bro. And I think our government, I'll say it like that, is not helping the situation. I personally think that right now, and not to get too political, but I don't mind stepping in this arena either. But just it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And I think what I think about at the end of the day is my legacy, my children. And as a male, as a father, I want to protect my house. I want to protect my household. And so it's challenging, man. And I know you got a little one, yo. Your little one is adorable, handsome fellow, man. And
thank you.
Man, being a father is a joy to me, man. It's a joy of my life, man. And so I'm wondering, man, how are you dealing with COVID, racism, all prejudice, like all this going on, and still being a father, not only a father, but you're a single father as well. So, man, I want you to speak to that, bro.
Yeah, for me, it's with the COVID thing, it's been especially hard, man. There's so many hoops to go through now. And especially, you know, being a single father, me and his mom have a court agreement that we have to abide by. But with COVID, things started switching, and it's starting, you know, it could muddy the waters a little bit. So things got a little bumpy there. But man, I'm just grateful to God that I even have my son. And so at this time, anytime I get him, man, I'm just giving all glory to him. And I just have to be wise in how I handle my freedom being out here, especially when he's not with me. And then especially when he's with me, what I'm doing with him, because for him, he was born 27 weeks early.
Wow.
And so 3 months in the NICU, 2 pounds, 2 ounces, he was born. And so his lungs are the number one. We don't want no flu, no sickness in there. So I have to be doubly accountable and careful when it comes to that. So, man, but praise God, I've been healthy. He's been healthy. And so we've just been enjoying each other. He's about to be 4 in a few months. So he's talking even more. The conversations are more fun. He's a cool kid.
So question, man, let's get real for a minute. So you're a single father, you're doing your thing, man, you're working. What are some of the challenges that you've had to kind of overcome to to become who you are now? Because
Man.
now is jolly, faith filled. Were you always like that? Was it that always the case?
Nah,
You have
man.
like BC time and now, like
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my BC time wasn't even that long ago in respect to like my whole life. I'm like 4 or 5 years in the Lord. And so it's literally right before my son was born. So it's 4 years ago that I really just committed my life to the Lord. And when he was born in that emergency 3 in the morning, all my all my faith was just in the Lord at that point for sustaining him, my gratefulness for saving his life. And so that's when I took it seriously. But before that, I had like a in and out relationship with Jesus. I gave my life to Christ many years ago. Grew up Catholic, but my family one by one, like a domino, like my sister got saved, and then my mother got saved, and then they all got saved, and so I was faithfully in the church at a big church, and then I met a girl, and then I'm like, man, life is so good. Let me back up a little bit, and then I put the Lord on the back burner, and then everything was downhill. So I
girls
mean, the challenge, the girls do that to you.
every time, bro.
That's what everybody says every time. It's always a girl. So yeah, so before that, man, I was just so selfish. The summer before I came to the church I'm at now, I sought out a therapist because my mom was trying to tell me, you need Jesus. I'm like, nah, I need like professional help. I even met my pastor, who's my pastor now, way back when. And as soon as he opened his mouth and talked to me about Jesus, I just shut him out. I didn't hear nothing. So I go to therapy, and the therapist said, like, why don't you try going to church? I was like, really? Same time, my sister invited me to her church, which was new to me,
Yeah,
and I went, and I never turned back since.
dude,
So
and that's love, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, man. And your vibes are good. I mean, your energy is infectious, bro. And so everybody, this is one of the reasons that I invited Anthony on, is just that he's a good dude. He's just all around good dude, and is clean and
thank you, man.
good. But at the same time, yo, Anthony is mad talented. He's mad talented, and actually, Anthony we're working on a project together, man. We're working on a project.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you guys know that I have been if you don't know, now you know. I have been working on a children's book. Yo, I've been working on the children's book, and I'm so excited about this children's. I'm so excited about this children's book. So I have been working on a children's book, and the name of the children's book is called Little Brown Boy. And Little Brown Boy is a story that I wrote. It's a love letter that I wrote to my two little brown boys, and it's an amazing story that captures a conversation that a parent or that a father would have with his children. And so, man, for the longest time, I was looking. I wrote the story, but I was also looking for an illustrator because I needed somebody to help me tell the story. And man, it is difficult to find illustrators. It's difficult. It's difficult to find illustrators. Everybody,
Hey, look at it.
yo. And so I wanted to share this with you guys today. This is the cover. This is what Little Brown Boy is what it looks like. And I'm excited to have the privilege that with working with Anthony, for him to take what I wrote and put life to it. Yo, so Anthony, you've been hearing more from me now than you ever have over the last couple of weeks. So, like, what is it? What as you've read this book, kind of what does it mean to you as you create the actual imagery for the words?
Yeah, I mean, it touched me because these are things like I tell my son, even though he's light skinned, but still, like when he's sleeping and I'm talking to him, these are the same affirmations that I'm telling him, like, Elijah, you have no idea how special you are, that you were created by God. Jesus loves you. And these are the same things that, man, it just resonated with me. And so just that story of a father talking to a son and filling him with that spirit, with that empowerment, it just touched my heart so much. And I would be so proud to read this to him and show it to my son. And so, this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
So what? So let me speak to this. One of the reasons why I love this. One of the reasons why that I love this book is because it speaks to every demographic of brown boys. And so this book is this. The verbiage is for the building up of the esteem of young boys. But at the same time, the crazy thing about it is that when I read this book to male adults, it resonates. It hits you in such a way that you're like, it speaks to the little black or brown boy inside. I've read it to I've read it to college professors. I've read it to educators. And afterwards they just sit back and they're like, we needed that. So like I'm once again, man, I am so honored and I'm excited that you have chosen to work with me on this book, man. So kind of what are your plans? What is your take? How do you speak to this as you create the imagery?
Man, as I create, I really read the words and then I go straight into prayer, man, and I ask God for some type of like visual. Lately, when I started, I've been using my art to recreate things, but the Lord has been inspiring me to create things that, images that he shows in my mind. And so as I read the words for the book, there's these images as I close my eyes and I just want to bring them on paper. And so, man, you wrote some inspiring words and I'm so proud to be part of this project, and I'm humbled that you trust me with your babies. I know this is your baby, and this is a big deal for you and your son.
To not just my son, but the reason why I wrote this book is because I want all little brown boys to know that they are important, that they matter, and to be honest, bro, if I can be honest, transparent, when I was younger, bro, I had one teacher, man, that really did me in. And I think, and I'll speak to this. When I was a little bit younger, when I think I was in middle school, I remember, I wasn't the smartest crayon. I wasn't good at math. I'm still not good at math. But I remember having one teacher who stood up to me and who I was asking a question, and she yelled across the classroom. And her name was Miss Beausarge.
That's was trauma that you remember it.
I remember her name. Her name was Miss. No, I think it was Miss Beausarge or Miss. I think it was Miss Beausarge. But anyway, she literally said to me in front of the whole class, she said, "Robert, why are you raising your hand? Why do you show up to my class? I don't like you. You are not going to succeed. You are not going to pass. Why do you even show up?"
What?
I was sitting there like, dude, like what's going on? And for a long time, that impacted how I viewed, how smart I was or what I could do, what I couldn't do.
Wow.
Dude, I know that's just not a one-off. I think there's a lot of people, there's a lot of not only just men in general, but people in general who as young people were traumatized by people telling them what they couldn't do. On the last podcast that I had, I was talking about as young men develop, our ability to dream is kind of snatched from us as we grow and develop. I talk about often that, as young men, we're being told, oh yeah, you can be whatever you want. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do until you start trying to do it. And then people
knocking you down.
They knock you down and they strip your permission to dream. They They strip you of your ability to imagine and dream. And one thing that I love about this book, and I love the reason why I'm working with you, is because you're not afraid to dream. And that's what my hope is. My hope is that we can continue to and give men permission to dream again, to imagine again. Because I think when men have the ability to dream, I think sometimes the dream gives people hope. And when
Yeah.
have hope, I think they can do anything. And I think one of the reasons why we have so much killing, we got so much just stuff going on in our city, in our world, is because people don't have hope.
Yeah.
People don't have hope. And so I wanted this to be my small contribution into the next generation, to let them know they can do anything that they put their mind to.
Yeah.
I want to pause right here. I don't know who's listening out there. I don't know who's watching, but you can do whatever you put your mind to. I'm going to say that again. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Whatever that has been in your heart and in your mind to do, do not allow fear and naysayers and people's opinion or preconceived notion of you stop you from moving forward and what you feel like you've either been called to do or you're passionate about. I think somebody listening has a business inside of them. You have books inside of you. You have dreams inside of you, and you've been stopped in your tracks by fear. You may have been stopped in your tracks by shame. You may have been stopped in your tracks by rejection or by some traumatizing situation. Don't let those things stop you from moving forward in what you have a desire to do or what you feel God has called you to do. Hey, do it scared. You know, this is not a Christian. This is not a.
That was real. Do it scared. I like that.
Do it, man. And I think oftentimes what inhibits men and people from doing what they desire is they feel like because they're not at a certain level that they have to wait to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do this until I'm as good as so and so. And I think this is my thing, and this is why I started writing, and this is why I'm so glad I'm working with Ant, because I just shortened your name, bro. I'm with Ant because I'm working with you because I realized that there's a gap in the world, and that God created me to fill it. When He created me, He created us to fulfill, or to be a solution to problems in the world. And as long as you sit on your gift, as long as you keep your mouth shut, as long as you don't contribute to the world what God has put on the inside of you, there's going to be a void. You're not ever going to be like anybody else. And this is one of the reasons why I love Anthony, because he doesn't try to be anybody else. He is himself. And when you learn how to be you and you're comfortable with being the best you that you can be, man, you can shake the world. I got free when I realized I did not have to be anybody else. Lord, I just helped free like 10 people that's listening. I got free when I didn't have to be anybody else, man. And I want to ask you, man, how did you get so comfortable with being in your skin?
Man, I grew up with the most insecurities ever. It didn't always start that way, but I was the new kid at school at transitional phases of my life twice.
Yeah.
Middle school and then high school. And so being a new kid and then being bullied in middle school and then becoming kind of a people pleaser, and that's never going to work. And so there's insecurity on top of insecurity and broken relationship on top of broken relationship, and hearing, you know, terrible things about yourself that people say to you. Eventually, I believed it. And even doing this, you know, I appreciate the opportunity to do this book, because even in this, like, I did scared, because I'm like, man, is my art even good enough? Like, was I there yet, or this and that? But you know, with the story and, you know, our relationship, I said, no, this is God. Like, you gave me a gift for a reason. And so, man, definitely the insecurities were heavy. and it's still a battle of the mind that I just give to Lord daily, and I have to make a choice every day. Like, Lord, I am yours. I'm nothing without you. I have no idea what I'm doing, but that's the perfect place to be because I just have to rely on you. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think you get to a point where you realize, yo, if God, I have a saying, if God doesn't help me do it, it won't get done.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I live, and I really want to encourage anybody out there who's living, who has a dream, who has a vision to do something. Yo, do it. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Like, get out there and do it, yo. I felt quickened a little bit when I felt that. Like, yo, you need to do it. And I don't know who's been sitting on their dreams, who've been sitting on their passions, who've been sitting on their fears, but do it, man. Like, stop giving excuses and do it. Another project that I just released, and I released my third, I think, book called What Every Man Needs to Know. I'm gonna put that up on the screen right here. I just literally released that. We co-authored this book with two other great brothers. They're smart individuals, and we decided to get together and to release this book for men. It's a book written for men by men, and in this book we talk about core things that we believe that men need to know in order to become the best versions of themselves. And so, listen, while we're here on tonight, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to bless about, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to bless 5 people with this book, totally free, shipping included. I will pay for the shipping. You feel me, bro? You feel me? We out here. This is what I want to do. I want to bless with my new book, What Every Man Needs to Know. I'm trying to get a good listen. So I want to give these away. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of them. Listen, if you want to grab my new book free, you want me to send it to you, and I'm also probably going to send you an I Am Greater bracelet with the book. So listen, if you want this, I want you to inbox me, or I want you to go on the comment section and I want you to comment, yo, send it to me, Rob, send it to me. And I will personally sign this and send it to you. Yo, this is a great book for men. If you're a woman, you got men in your life, you need to get this book to them. If you got a young man who's graduating from high school, yo, you need to get this book in his hand. If you are transitioning from whatever place, you need to get this book. It's very real, very raw, and I love it, Ant. I love it.
I'm about to hit your inbox right now. Hold on.
Hit my inbox. Inbox, brother. Hit the inbox. Hit the inbox. And in this book, we talk about 5 core things that we think every man. Okay, I see you, Darnell. We talk about 5 core things that every man needs to know, and I'm gonna share just these 5 things, and you tell me what you think. And I think we said number 1, to become what the first thing that a man needs to know, he needs to have a working definition of what it means to be a man.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's powerful. And number 2,
yeah,
every man needs to know that he is enough as he is.
That's awesome. Yeah, that helps with the insecurities and the people pleasing and trying to be somebody you're not. Like, so that's good. You got the blueprint, and then know that you're enough, yo.
Yes, sir. The third thing, every man needs to know that he is worthy of love.
Now that's a big one. That's a big one. Some of us have a hard time forgiving ourselves even.
Yeah, man.
I had to do that. I had a reminder on my phone every day that said, forgive yourself. every day. So
dude,
that's a big one.
to do that.
Because I felt like, man, I messed up. In that season of my life when I was transitioning, when I was just getting to know the Lord and I didn't know the Lord and I was still in my flesh, like all the people that I've hurt, the terrible decisions I've made, that I had to learn how to forgive myself and not condemn myself because I've been forgiven.
Yeah,
So that's a good one.
dude. The next thing that I want that we thought men should know was that they were created for something bigger. No, number 4 was your perception of yourself matters.
That's good too. That's good too. That's identity. Those are those daily affirmations. Like you gotta know. Like I have to remind myself too. Like I'm not I'm not weak. I have the Lord. I have favor. I have blessings, and I know who He says I am. So don't doubt myself. When I doubt myself, that's when the fear kicks in, and that's when I stop moving.
That's so true. I'm gonna read a section of it because this was actually one of my favorite parts of the book. It said one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn is perception is everything. Oftentimes, the difference between someone that succeeds and someone who fails at life is based upon how they perceive themselves, which affects what they present to the world. Ask yourself how many jobs, relationships, or opportunities you have missed because you thought you were inadequate or you played yourself small. Well, my friend, that day is over. You are the only person you need to be good enough for.
Whew.
Let's
go. Drop the mic. Get a mic and drop it.
Dude, you are the Lord have mercy. That almost did I write that? Jesus. You are the only person you need to be good enough for.
Let's go.
Sir Edmund Hillary said, it is not the mountain we need to conquer, but ourselves. The truth is that the world will see you how you see yourself and treat you how you allow them. One of my favorite lessons about perception is found in the Bible. But anyway, to get more of that, you're gonna have to get the book. So I'm giving away. How many did I say? 1, 2,
5.
5. I'm giving 5 of these away for free. I see people in there saying that they want it. Hey, let me just put it in the chat section, Rob. I want it. And I will send it to you free of charge. I'm giving 5 of them away. I see you, Laurent. I got you. I'll send it to you. The last thing that we put in here was you were created for something bigger. Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Dude, I think it's important for every man to know that he was created for something bigger than himself.
Yeah, that's true. Like combat that small-mindedness. One thing that I'm grateful for I always said growing up, I just found letters recently. I used to write, my mom is my hero for everything that she sacrificed and for taking me out of a situation that, in a neighborhood that could have kept me down. And so, that's the small-mindedness definitely resonates with me because I feel like if I stood in the same neighborhoods doing the same things with the same people all my life, then I would never think bigger than I think I'm called to be. And so that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, man, it's huge. I think this is important. I think that this book is definitely something that all men need to get their hands on. I didn't just write it just to write it, yo. Like I legit wrote it because men need help. We need help, brother. We need help, and my hope is for this. That man, I'm trying to go on, but that thing hit me. You are enough. You need to be good enough for. Anyway,
Man, that's good though. That's good though. I just what's in my mind a lot of times, especially when I'm sharing or I'm sharing with the youth of my church and small groups and even my friends, that audience of one. People pleasing is such a big thing. I think, especially with the social media age and comparison and wanting to be accepted and all the groups that could accept you that will lead you down the wrong way. But you just got to know, like, you are enough.
you are enough, brother. That thing speaks to me, man. So listen, I think, Ant, you are amazing. I'm glad to be working alongside you once again on this
Appreciate you.
amazing project that you are serving as the illustrator for, man. It's love, man. It's love to have you. It's love to have you. It's love to have you serving in this capacity, man. I think you bring something dynamic to this experience. And so one thing I'm excited about the book is that it's in English and it's in Spanish.
Yes, my boy bilingual.
It's in English and in Spanish, and I'm excited about having it out, dude. I
Oh
think
man,
speak volumes is going to speak to generations, man. So, man, once
man,
again, Ant, man, thank you so much for
my
joining.
brother.
Do you want to say anything to the people before we leave, Ant?
Man, Jesus loves each and every one of y'all.
Dude,
Amen.
I love it, man.
That's it.
Yo,
That's it.
you
I
guys,
love you, Rob.
thank you guys for listening. Yo, you have been listening to the Iron Man podcast. Yo, where every man's voice is heard and respected. This is a place where all men are created equal. Yo, we love you. Peace out.